That's an interesting...
Oh, it was incredible.
Oh, you just sent a shiver down my back.
And I said to him, yeah, I know, because I felt it at the same time.
Ooh. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Carole, and I'm from York originally.
Oh, yeah. Not Leeds.
No.
Not Wesley.
No.
What do you do, Carole?
Enjoying myself.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that bring you much money?
Yeah. It
Yeah?
certainly pays the mortgage.
Does it?
And allows me to buy half a dozen bottles of champagne.
Champagne, darling.
When they've got it on offer.
Obviously, yeah. What is the most popular thing that you offer?
Sports massage.
Is it?
That's predominantly what I do at home.
Okay.
But as you know, I'm going to be delivering it here as well on the second Sunday of the month, starting in June, which is kind of combined with deep tissue as well, really, and injury work, because that's what I'm. That's how I set my stall out at the start. Yeah.
So as well as the sports massage, what else do you offer? Let's list them out.
You might have to.
I have got a little list here to prompt.
To hear that,
because I can't remember them all.
Let's see if I can remember them. So Swedish, Reiki, Indian head with chakra balancing, manual lymphatic drainage, reflexology, Aquatherm massage, which is on the cushions, warm water-filled cushions, which are delightful to lay on.
We'll talk more in detail.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Pregnancy.
I do offer pregnancy.
You've had 2 today.
I have had 2 today.
Crystal healing.
Crystal healing, thank you.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And have you said Reiki?
I have said Reiki.
Yeah. How long have you been a therapist?
I've been a therapist for, oh gosh, I don't even know how long now.
Yeah. A long time.
Many years. I used to be a lead therapist in a hospice.
What's the favourite treat? What's your favourite to do? If you had to pick, I know you like them all, but if you had to just pick one.
I think I would have to say, and it goes against
all
what I try and do here.
Yeah.
But it's got to be sports
massage.
Yeah,
you're a sports massage girl, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and that it's your most popular.
Yeah.
And it's your favourite.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love coming here.
Yeah.
Because I get to do all the stuff I don't generally get to do.
Yeah.
So
people ask a lot for the staff in the shop and online about your offerings.
Right.
I thought it'd be nice to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go through, and if you could just give me sort of an overview of what it is, who it would be ideal for, and kind of what the result might be.
Yeah.
So Reiki, an interesting one. Let's start with Reiki.
Reiki's all about... Reiki's a really hard one to describe, because I always think I sound like a lunatic.
Go on, I love lunatics.
But it's all about channeling universal energy.
Yeah.
So when you take the theory that we are all atoms and molecules and we are energy constantly moving, it's all about channeling what I call good energy in order to bring a sense of calm and balance to the body's systems, and bringing homeostasis, which is where the body finds its balance and learns to correct itself.
Okay.
You're not going to be cured with anything from it. A lot of people who have cancer love Reiki.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people who have MND, neurological conditions, that sort of thing.
That's interesting.
Really like Reiki because it's calming. They get a strong sense. Most people get a strong sense of positive energy from it. I always describe it as, when you're in the company of somebody who's what I call a mood hoover.
Yes, a fun sponge.
Oh, it's the living daylight down to you.
I know. Yeah, I know it well.
And then other people give you a lift and you feel really good, don't you?
Yeah.
I always think or describe Reiki like that. It's about channeling good energy that helps to make you feel better.
Interesting. So if I'm coming in for a Reiki session then, Carole, am I clothed? Am I unclothed?
So you're clothed?
Yeah. Am I laid on my back, on my front?
You're laid on your back.
Yeah.
Propped up with a pillow,
Yeah, comfortable.
Blanket over you if you want one, something under your knees if you've got a lower back issue and you need to ground your back. But you're clothed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there may be touching, there may not be.
Okay.
If there is any touching, then it's always at the start, I'll touch the shoulders really, really lightly, and that's just to get into your energy field.
That's just to connect, And
then after that, I may or may not touch. And if I do, it's at the joint, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees and ankles.
Do you ever feel drained by it?
No. So unlike spiritual healing, which uses the energy of the person delivering the treatment, Reiki, you channel Reiki. So before I do a Reiki treatment, I do what we call a dry bathing.
Okay.
And I open myself up to universal energy. Okay. And you visualise channeling energy through the crown, through the top of the head, down into the heart, and then out through the hands.
Okay.
So very often when you deliver Reiki, your hands will feel something. Okay. Mine are usually very hot and tingle. And people will say, oh, I felt something around here, or I felt something here, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
say, oh, yeah, I was working that area.
Right, okay. So is it, I'd be laid there, clothes on, eyes closed?
Yeah, well, it's up to you.
Right, and then you would just sort of
I
move
close
around.
my eyes when I'm working.
Yeah.
I always have my eyes closed
Yeah.
when I'm delivering Reiki, unless I'm getting up and moving around, because otherwise I'll trip up.
Or fall off your chair.
I'll fall off my chair, yes. But no, I say to folk, if you want to shut your eyes, shut your eyes. If not, if you want to watch what's going on,
yeah,
that's fine. But you ain't going to relax if you're doing that.
Okay.
So,
how might I feel after I leave you? What do people tell you? Am I going to be floating? Am I going to be buzzed? Am I going to feel heavy?
That depends.
Okay.
It can be all of those things. I did once have an elderly gentleman who was dying of cancer sit up afterwards. He was in his late 70s, early 80s. And he said to me, I said, how was that first time he'd had it? His wife wanted him to try it. And he said, I think I've just felt what it must be like to pass.
Oh, that's an interesting...
Oh, it was incredible.
Oh, you just sent a shiver down my back.
And I said to him, yeah, I know, because I felt it at the same time.
Oh, that's
eerie.
eerie.
Now it gets me emotional.
Yeah, you just, honestly, all the hairs at the back of my neck have stood up when you said that.
Amazing results with
That's
Reiki.
so interesting.
Which horses for courses.
What does that mean, Carole?
Over the years,
what does that mean?
I've had folk get up off, only two,
yeah,
get up off the couch and say, yeah, no, don't feel that.
Not for you.
That's all right.
Do you feel like people have to be open to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not open, then it's
you can't.
No, it's like anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. Interesting.
I could spend hours talking about various things that happened after a Reiki session.
Would you recommend it for everyone? Do certain people benefit from it?
Everyone.
Everybody?
Yeah. Some people might feel emotional afterwards. You know, but yeah, I'd recommend it. It's suitable for anybody.
Okay.
You know.
Mentioned crystals then. So that'll bring me on to my next offering in your portfolio. Crystal healing.
So again, a bit like Reiki, crystals they've been in the earth for years.
Got some over there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Yeah, I generally bring them in. When I do crystal healing, I follow the 7 chakras, which is the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the one that I always forget, which is the sacral.
Groin area.
No, sacral's about here.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And then the base, which is the tailbone, if you like.
Yeah.
So I'll use various crystals that match those
chakras.
All those chakras have different colours.
Yeah.
And they're all energy systems. So we have energy, and Reiki can, as I say, it's westernised if you bring crystals and that sort of thing in. But the Western Reiki also follows the chakras, as does acupuncture, as does reflexology. That's an energy-based, not necessarily, but can be an energy-based. So I use the crystals to help get those energy centres flowing. Okay. So if somebody's sky high, hyper, anxious, blah, 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 chances are their base chakra is out of balance.
Right.
So you might work on the base chakra to ground them.
Okay. The chakra balancing then, that's obviously plays into the crystal healing and things as well.
Absolutely.
So in your chakra balancing, that comes with an Indian head, doesn't it?
It does.
Here.
Yeah.
What might that treatment look like? Do you have your top off for that? Do you sit up?
No, it's a good one. It's a good one. What I so with Indian head, it's a ancient treatment again, working from the shoulder blades, if you like, up, down the arms, into the neck, the head. And then with that, the chakra balance would again work on the whole body system chakras. Yeah. But I would do that seated.
Okay.
I would probably lay out, so if you were sat here, I would lay out in front of the client the crystals. Yeah. I would use my pendulum to...
Where is your pendulum? Is it nearby?
At home.
Oh.
Never thought.
Just good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd use my pendulum to ask about the chakras. Okay. What chakras am I working with? Yeah. And that's just a simple question. Does this chakra need attention? Yeah. Yeah. And it'll either say yes or no. Okay.
Let's switch it up a bit then. Aquatherm massage, definitely by far the number one thing we get asked about the most. Yes. What is Aquatherm massage? Okay. Give us the rundown. What is it?
Aquatherm massage is a full body massage while the client is laid supine, so on the back, but semi-supine. So I have a really big, thick bolster. Shall I get it?
Go on then. Get your bolster out, Carole.
So this bolster sits under your knees, so that you're up. Yeah. What it does is it plants the back into the cushions. So this bolster goes under your knees, and the cushion. There's 2 cushions. one that sits on this.
A water-filled cushion.
Yeah. And then one that's flat.
Mm-hmm.
So they're filled with warm water, and the idea is that you use that person's body weight to affect the muscles. Okay. So I always start off with the legs, but you can do the hamstrings. You're laid on the back.
Yeah.
They're laid on the back, and you can still do the hamstrings.
Yeah,
you can still do the calves. You can massage the back of the knees. Something that never gets done usually. And then I work on the back. So then when I'm working on the back, again, you're laid on your back. So I put my hands under.
Yeah.
But I can get my whole arm under as well.
Okay.
Because the water allows that person to, it balances their body weight. Yeah, and it lets me get under. So the nice thing about Aquatherm is I can use wonderful oils on my arms before I even do out with a client. Put it armless. So I'll lather myself in oil. And then I can literally get right under. And I work that way.
Right, okay.
Under and I'm working with all the muscles that I would work with if I was doing a sports massage.
Yeah.
But it's not a sports massage.
Okay.
But it is very relaxing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm using that person's body weight to affect those muscles. So I say to my clients, if you've got a bit of backache or, you've got a little bit of sciatica going on, then you're naked, but you're covered over, but you've got your drawers on. I get them to pull the drawers down.
Right,
just so that I can get to the top of
the very lower back.
glutes. Yeah. And get in there. And it's just great because you can, do you know what? I love it because if you don't have too much weight on, I can actually get hold of your scapula.
Okay.
And stretch it.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
Scapular stretch is wonderful. I love it.
What's good about it? It relaxes.
Yeah, well, it stretches the rhomboids.
Okay.
Which means that what that then does is it allows you to have a bit more movement and freedom in your shoulders. Okay. It's something that I do in the sports massage as well, but obviously different. Using essential oils. Usually the calm. Okay. That's the most popular.
It is the most popular, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So who's it ideal for?
Okay, so I currently have a 90-year-old gentleman.
Okay, yeah.
Who can't, well, he can turn over, but he'd be a bit bumming slow.
Okay, right, okay.
So, if you have trouble breathing,
okay,
you're laid on your back. It's great. And I can prop you up so that you're not laid flat. It's good for anybody with arthritis, anybody with any muscle soreness, anybody who just wants to come and relax. Pregnancy, because very often, depending on how far you are on your term, then see at home, I would lay you on your side. Most of my pregnant clients come for a back massage because they're suffering. Yeah. Whereas this, instead of laying you on your side, which is what I would do at home, here you can just lay on your back. Support your knees to take the pressure off your tummy and your back, and I can still give you a good back massage. So, but anyone can have it.
Yeah. But let's talk about lymphatic.
I'll tell you for why.
Go on then. Tell me for why.
Because not everybody knows about it.
No, it's one of them things, isn't it? You think lymphatic drainage and you think you know what it means, but before we started filming, you went, well, not everybody actually understands it. So go on, please enlighten me.
So manual lymphatic drainage. The blood is pumped around your body with your heart, by your heart. Lymph has no pump whatsoever. It relies on movement, exercise to work its way around the body. The lymph system is your immune system, basically. Yeah. So lymph is a white fluid. It sits just under the skin. Okay. Your lymph flows back to the sternum. Okay. And it gets redistributed around the body. When it's distributed around the body, it picks up all the impurities in your system, anything, bacteria. And what it does is it then moves it along to the nodes, what I call washing machines. Okay. When it gets to them nodes, it has a wash cycle. Okay. And then it finds its way back to the sternum. Okay. Where it's nice and clean and gets distributed again. Okay. What people don't seem to understand about manual lymphatic drainage is because it is literally just under the skin. You know when you cut yourself sometimes, a white fluid?
Yeah,
when
it's clear fluid.
That's your lymph. That's your lymph. So when I am doing a drainage, my pressure is literally...
It's quite light.
Real light.
Oh, okay.
And you've got to do it rhythmically. Yeah. So you can't just... Yeah. It's got to be... So I'm constantly counting when I'm doing my lymphatic drainage. Yeah. Because I easily lose count.
That's interesting. Okay.
So, and that's it. And then I will work along whatever it is I'm doing. Yeah. It is not sculpting. some people seem to think it's
Yeah.
what
So
they think.
who's it ideal for? So is it for people with like swole, like water
So
retention?
people who've got water retention, people who have some sort of lymphatic drainage issue.
Yeah.
You don't have to be poorly. You don't have to have cancer to have a lymph issue. I do work with some cancer patients at home. But there's a difference between lymphedema and edema. Okay. So I work with edema. Yeah. Lymphedema is your serious stuff. Okay. Which is what, cancer usually. Yeah. So I work with edema. Edema is general swelling, and that could be for any reason whatsoever. Sluggish immune system. Yeah. You've just had a virus. Okay. Or you've been poorly for a while and you haven't been exercising. And exercise, I just mean walking. Yeah. Okay. I do quite a bit of drainage with some of my MND clients because they're sat in chairs. Yeah.
Motor neurons disease. Yeah, that's
right.
Everybody doesn't know that. Oh, yeah. I didn't know what it was earlier.
Yeah. So, but some people also have it just to help them feel better. Okay. So you don't have to be poorly at all or have wrong with you. Yeah. Lots of people who have had post-surgery. Yes. That sort of thing. So post-surgery, bring it on. That's great.
So I come in for a lymphatic drainage massage. Yeah. How soon am I seeing results? Am I walking out of here feeling like drained? Feeling like, oh yeah.
Depends on how bad you are.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it depends on how bad you are.
So it can be quite an instant.
It can be an instant. And you'll know because it's generally the lower limbs.
Okay. Yeah, ankles, calves.
Yeah, sometimes arms, but it's generally lower legs. And you'll feel it tingling. Oh, okay. That's when you know it's working.
Yeah. Everybody's different.
24, 40, yeah.
That's generally what you'd expect.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see an instant, depending on how bad they are, I'll measure before we start and I'll measure after. Yeah. You see a lot of MLD therapists don't do that.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Where can people find you, Carole? If people wanted to book,
right,
they can book via the Cosy Cottage website.
Absolutely.
So they just need to search one of these treatments we've discussed today.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Carole.
That's all right.
Can I book one of each?
Yes. You can indeed.